Well, I want to thank you, Martin, for having us here at Dairy Queen today. Very excited to be speaking with you here in Ghent, and we've got a lot of information we'd like to get from you for our students. I'm sure most of our students are familiar with Dairy Queen, but if you could tell us a little bit about it and how many people who work here, what the specific jobs are, we would love to hear from you on that.
Sure. Dairy Queen excuse me, has been here for 57 years. I've had it for 20 years. Right now, this past year, our high peak employment was 29 team members, of which 7, I think, are full-time, and the rest are part-time. The majority are high school seniors, juniors over 16 years old, and several who are in the community colleges. And then for the summer, we get a lot of kids who worked here in high school and come back from their colleges, which aren't in this area, to work for the summers. And that gets us up to 29.
Nice, excellent. So of those jobs, if you're a high school student, what kind of jobs would you be hired for?
Over 16, you can do most of the jobs that are required here. Your customer service, we start them generally in customer service. Working at the registers, they get an idea of the products, they have to learn that. They have to learn how to talk to customers. They have to learn how to say please and thank you. It's amazing how important that is in this job. They've showed that just saying thank you improves the customer's experience by 30-40% when they respond to questionnaires. Just saying thank you. So, and a lot of the young people need to learn to do that on a regular basis, to say you're welcome. So they learn customer service. Then we move them on to one of the specific areas of production. So it may be, and generally is, first they learn how to make our ice cream products, our soft serve products. Actually, before that, they'll learn how to do drive-through, which requires a few different skills than working at the front counter. Then they'll learn how to do soft serve, and depending on their ability and the time they spend here, a few of them will move in to cooking, into the kitchen. And through that process, and it generally will take, by the time to get to the kitchen, they'll be here either full-time, 6-8 months, or part-time, maybe 2 or 3 years. They will be diversified. They'll learn all about hygiene, how to clean, and they will progress to the areas of where they can become crew leaders.
Excellent. So, keeping in that vein of jobs available and things and being hired as a high school student, what kinds of experience or qualifications do you look for when you're interviewing a high school student or a recent high school graduate?
So I want to see if they have any experiences. And if they don't, say so. I want to see how their grades are. I want to see if they're members of groups. I want to know why they want to work. Why are you here? Is it because your parents want you out of the house? Or are you here because you really want to get some experience? You need to earn some money for a car. That's a good reason. You want to get experience in working. You need to stay busy. And you're anxious to get the experience. So their attitude's important.
Excellent. So with that in mind, if they're coming to you to work, what do you expect them to know right at the beginning? And say if they're going to be going into the customer service position as their entry-level position, what do you expect them to learn in the first month? So what do they need to know coming in or have as coming in, and what do you expect them to learn in their first month?
coming in, I want them to be open to learning. They have to be able to listen. It's something I'm talking to them, I want them to respond when I ask them a question. I expect them to be able to listen. I expect them to be able to work with their peers who may be more experienced, as well as an adult. I expect them to come in knowing that they can take directions. The first month, I expect them to understand what it is to be part of a team. The first thing they have to learn is food safety. They have to learn how to talk to a customer. And we want them, and some kids are very shy. And this is really interesting that they learn. You got to get up there and say, "Hi, how are you? Can I help you?" And I expect them to do that. And I expect them to try. They may even be a little awkward at it. And so they'll say, "Well, I'm learning to a customer." And they are. They are. So I expect that. I expect them to learn the computer. Today, most of the kids are pretty computer savvy. So we have a pretty high-tech computer system here. And they have to learn how to work with it.
Nice. So I would assume this is very much a team environment. So how does the interaction of the team work during each shift, or during what will they learn during that time?
It is very much a team effort. And whether there's 4 or 5 people, crew, or 10 team members, it is a team effort. So they're going to learn in the very beginning, as they get independent enough to work on the register by themselves, that first they have to be very conscientious of the details of the order. And they're going to learn that they're going to put an order in, and the kitchen, who's got to make it, or the ice cream people, if they have a problem reading that order, if they don't put it in right, they're going to learn very quickly from the rest of the team that they're creating an issue. They also have to be responsive to the customer, to let the customer know they put something in right. And they're going to learn very quickly, if there's a problem, it's their problem. They have to resolve it with the customer. So they need to be very focused on the details of orders, communicating. They're going to learn if something's really special, and this is kind of fun. They have to turn around and explain it. Because we will make, if we have the product, I tell the kids, we'll make it. But you have to communicate. They have to communicate to the rest of the team. If they see that a customer is not getting their product quickly, they have to look into the order sequence and say, why not? So they're going to learn how to communicate. That's a big part of being in the team. And one of the reasons when I interview them, I want to see if they're conversant, if they can answer questions. So when they're working here, they can communicate with the other team members. And the other team members are going to communicate to them if they're at the register. If there's a problem, if there's a delay, they're going to learn that they didn't do this, they didn't put in a particular item properly. So it's a team effort that they're going to get feedback.
Very nice. Well, I can imagine getting the wrong blizzard might be a little bit of a problem for a customer. So
it's a big problem. And they're going to learn, and this is one of the things we talk about, that even if they took the order and the customer told them it was a Heath bar blizzard, I tell them, and they put in a Heath bar blizzard, and the blizzard comes out and the customer gets a Heath bar blizzard, and then the customer comes back and says, I ordered a Reese's blizzard. And they know very well that it was a Heath bar blizzard. They have to learn how to smile and say, sorry, let me get you a Reese's blizzard. That's customer service, and that the customer is right. And they have to learn that.
Excellent. So one last question. Can you give us an example of someone who has started with you as a teenager or has come to you maybe in high school or just recently from high school, who has moved up through the ranks and is now moved up through the organization here at Dairy Queen?
We do have several kids who have been here for now 4 or 5 years who are now started in high school at 16, moved up, and they're going to community colleges, and they have become crew leaders. And some of them started out when they were very shy, and they had trouble talking to customers. And today, they're terrific crew leaders. They're able to inspire and direct younger kids who are just starting. They're able to talk to customers, and they've moved up from register to ice cream to cook to being able to multitask and do everything here, as well as open and close and cash out financials.
That's fantastic. Perfect. Well, I want to thank you, Martin, for having us here. It's been very busy. I'm sure people can hear in the background. It's been a very hectic lunch hour here that we've met at. I want to thank you so much for offering this information to the students. And we hope that some of them will obviously take up the opportunity to meet you themselves in person and maybe become a part of the team. So thank you so much.
It's been my pleasure, and I hope a lot of the young people who are in the area continue to come and apply for jobs. And we expect to be here for a long time.
Very nice. I have to make sure I get some blizzards or something before I go. So take care.